So, Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. It's been ages since I've seen the show, so most of the show I don't really remember. I remember like the first episode. Like I remember when they go to Kyoshi. I remember Omashu. The episode with the Tales of Ba Sing Se. Um, some of the later episodes, like Aang's episode, were the final episodes when he's fighting Fire Lord Ozai with Sozin's Comet. That stuff. But a lot of the main, smaller ones in between, don't really remember. So I went into this obviously with an open mind since I don't really remember the show very well. This was back when I was late middle school, high school. Um, so I was already well into my teenage years when this show came on. Um, so I went into this open mind. But I can tell you it's leagues above the movie. That terrible M. Night Shyamalan movie. Oh, this beats it. This like goes up to it, beats it up, takes its lunch money, beats it up some more, and then after it's become beat up, it remains the bitch of whoever, of this, the one who did the beating up, because there's no hope of it ever redeeming itself. That's kind of what this is. The characters are more fleshed out. The characters are definitely more on point to what they are in the show. Even just Uncle Iroh here. Uncle Iroh is everyone's one of favorite characters, one of most beloved characters of the show. The movie, he's like this taller, darker, haired kind of guy. That doesn't scream Dragon of the West. That doesn't scream, hey, I'm old and I've been through a lot of crap. You know, this is what you expect. This is Uncle Iroh. He looks older, he looks wiser, and he acts the way he should. Zuko's going on about trying to catch the Avatar, and Uncle Iroh is like, Rin Zuko, perhaps you should sit down and have some tea. He's like, I can't have tea, Uncle. I need to catch the Avatar. Um, but you need rest, Zuko. And you can't get rest if you don't nourish your body in the proper manner. So please sit down and have some tea. He's just after a life of war, he's just like, you know what? I'll help my nephew because I love him and I'll guide him. But I will speak out when I think he's doing stupid crap. But also, this scene, everything else was fine. And then we got to, this is episode 4. So 4 episodes in. And this is, you can pretty much tell just from that what this is. So this is Lu Ten's funeral. Lu Ten is Iroh's son. And in the episode Tales of Ba Sing Se, it follows like Uncle Iroh and the other characters around the city, and little individual each one has like an individual story that's being told in the episode. And they and also the transition between Uncle Iroh's, because right after Iroh is Aang. So they go from the saddest, most depressing one right to Aang. But he sings a song at the end. Everyone thinks they're tough. Everyone thinks they're gangster until Uncle Iroh starts singing. And then you're bawling. I've seen so many reactions of people watching that episode, and no one can watch it without at least tearing up. That's how emotional it is. But here that he doesn't. At first, I was watching this. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and the music, the song is playing in the back. In the background, you hear that song playing. The Leaves from the Vine, and they keep doing this close up of Uncle Iroh, and you see him crying. And I'm like, don't sing, please don't sing. My heart cannot freaking take this right now. Please don't sing. Luckily enough, he doesn't sing. But If he did start singing, I'd probably be bawling. I'm like, okay, I can't watch this right now. I have something in my eye. But again, even if you don't know about the show, go watch Tales of Bossing Say, or just go on YouTube and look up Uncle Iroh's part of it. You'll at least tear up. And knowing that Mako, who was the voice of Uncle Iroh, died not too long after recording that, uh, makes it even more emotional. But the characters are more on point. Iroh is more like Iroh. Zuko is definitely more like his, cartoon counterpart. Even his voice, it sounds very much like Dante Bosco's version of Zuko, which is great because he just has that very distinct voice for his character. Azula in the cartoon is very psychotic. She's very psychotic. In here, she's just kind of very like calm most of the time, which is fine. But she doesn't have a lot of moments so far where she shows how psychotic and broken she is after years of abuse from her father and stuff like that. Hopefully that is seen more. Zuko still gets the scar from his father. Everyone's like, "Oh, they changed it." No, nope. We see Ozai with the fire and slowly working its way, and Uncle Iroh looks away, and Zula watches and smiles. Sokka and Katara, again, way better than their counterparts in the movie. Um, Sokka looks more like Sokka. They give him more of Sokka's personality with being goofy and all that. Um, Now again, I haven't seen the show a lot, like in ages. Was Aang always a whiny little bitch when it like most episodes, like every episode of this, it was just like every episode was like, how many more people have to die? How many more people have to suffer because of me? Was he always like that? I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember if he was a whiny bitch like that. Like I remember Aang being goofy and silly, and I mean I know there was moments where he had doubts in himself, but like every episode so far, it's just him being a whiny bitch about it. Like how many more people have to die? Why do we all have to fight? So I genuinely don't remember. So if he wasn't a whiny little bitch, great. And if he was, again, I don't remember. Um, but they should with the other avatars, when he goes into the avatar state, I mean, same thing. It's just it lights up, and Avatar Kyoshi and Roku, and they're, I mean, they look like what they're supposed to. Um, Ko, the face stealer, he's here. He's pretty cool looking, really. Pretty cool looking. Um, Visually, it's stunning. It's just very beautiful. Whether it be the temples with the air nomads, or Kyoshi, or I was about to say Bossing Say, but no, not Omashu. It's all visually stunning. Um, I was also talk about the Northern Warrior Tribe, and so we've got the moment with this with the moon and with the spirits. Um, and he kills the moon spirit, basically taking bending away, water bending from all the waterbenders. Um, they've launched an assault on the people there. Uh, let's not forget our good friend Penis Head. Yeah, I think it was in M Night Shyamalan's version. Like they made her hair basically look like the tip of you know. But this is UA in the show now. Um, the moment where Aang decides to kind of let the spirit use his body as like a vessel. But you can tell like it looks good. It looks good. Um and then just this moment where he just becomes this massive avatar of water. It's very nice looking. Um and he just completely lays waste to all the Fire Nation ships, and of course, Katara is screaming out for him like, "Hey, you gotta stop this." Um, and it's good because Katara and like again, Katara and Sokka look like their characters, and that just looks really cool. Even though it's pretty obvious that it's CG, it still looks really cool. Um, you have Yue sacrificing herself since she was blessed by the moon spirit. So in order to kind of save everyone and give bending back to people, she sacrifices herself. Very sad, very emotional, especially in the episode, because Sokka and her, have this connection. And it's like, well, it was nice knowing you for like the day or so that you've been here. I'm going to sacrifice myself now, okay? Fire Lord Ozai. Um, and then at the very end, they talk about Sozin's Comet. And but just the throne room for him, it just looks amazing. We have Azula capturing Boomy and taking over Omashu. But yeah, it's all very stunning to look. It's very nice to look at. It's very pretty. Um, but like I said, a lot of the episodes I don't remember, but remembering what the characters were, it's very close to what they were. It's sad to see a lot of the humor has been taken out, but you're like, oh, well, it's a live action, and yeah, but it was in collaboration with Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon didn't say, oh, hey, maybe we should give some of them that humor. Like they throw in the cabbage guy, like in Omashu, the my cabbages. That guy's in here, so they can obviously do humor, and each episode is like 40, like 50, almost an hour long. So there's clearly enough time to add some humor here. But then the humor that they do add, it's kind of like that cheesy, only works in the cartoon kind of humor. Um, but the cabbage guy, I mean, they made they paid homage to that guy. My cabbages. Uh, UA. Um, so I get them trying to go for a little dark. Um, but character like the way the characters themselves look, they look again with Kyoshi, the Kyoshi warriors, it looks like they were just taken directly out of the show. Um, Aang, same thing. Very much like Aang physically. Sokka, Katara, um, Iroh, Zuko. They're pretty much like their cartoon counterparts. Boomy, I mean, he was a fun character, but they did make him a little more serious, I guess, compared to what he was in the show. They still have that final scene with him and Aang with the transport system, though, them just riding around the transport system. So that I was like, oh, that's cute, because that was in the show. Little one last hangout time with Boomy before Aang leaves, just going down the transport system. Um, Ozai looks amazing. Azula, people are like, well, her face is too round. Like, Azula's fine. The only problem with Azula I have is they don't show how psychotic she is yet. Being basically mentally broken by her father. So she she's insane. Later, seasons and all that, she becomes more of a, you know, like Zuko. He starts with this, vendetta against the Avatar. Like, oh, I need to catch the Avatar. I need to restore my honor and get back home and take my place as the heir of the Fire Lord. And but then he comes to find that Aang is just like him. He's lost a lot, and he goes from seeing Aang as an enemy to a friend. So by the time that his father's defeated, uh, Zuko takes his place as like Fire Lord. and him and Aang are basically friends. They're on good terms. They're helping each other. Um, so character wise, Zuko's probably got the most development. Um, but second season, I think Toph should be introduced in the second season. Hopefully they don't mess her up because Toph is another character people love. So I don't know. But all in all, the show is really good. I mean, I went into it from the perspective of I haven't seen the cartoon in how many years, so I'm going to go into it with an open mind. The music is great. Some of it actually did kind of sound like Lord of the Rings, kind of a little bit. Um, but great music, visually stunning. The characters were as close to the cartoon versions as you could get, because obviously anymore it would just be too cringy, and it's just like trying to make it too much like those characters. Again, some of the humor works in the cartoon because it's a cartoon, but it's a good blend of humorous and serious. Again, if since I haven't seen the show in a while, was Aang always like in the first season, was he always a whiny little bitch? Like, I can't do this. I can't do this. How many more people have to die? I can't do this on my own. That's why I have my friends. It's just, was he always like that? I don't remember. Um, if he wasn't, then yeah, this kid played Aang perfectly then. Or if he did, either way, this kid pretty good at Aang. Um, but even the CGI with the creatures, I mean, it's good enough. It's good enough. Appa looks like Appa. Momo looks like Momo. Uh, Base Stealer Co looks really cool. Um, the whole Avatar state, well done. Um, some of like effects, like I said, the whole Avatar Wrath. You can kind of tell it's CGI, but that's fine. It's at nighttime, so usually nighttime makes it look a little more realistic because you don't have the sun, I mean, having to deal with the shadows and stuff like that in certain places. But give it a try. Give it a watch. If you haven't seen the show, then you'll enjoy it. If you have seen the show, just go into it knowing that it's not one for one of cartoon, but the characters definitely are more representative of what they are in the show. Obviously, facts and certain scenarios were changed. At this point, you should just kind of expect cartoon getting a live action. Nothing's going to be one for one. So if they show one character more than they do in the show, or this happens in a way and it's completely different in the live action, just kind of come to accept that it's still the string of events that happen. It's just small changes, I guess. Um, but yeah, Avatar: Last Airbender, Netflix, 8 episodes. It was pretty good. Was it super? No. Was it fantastic? No. Was it perfect? No. But it was fun. I got a lot of laughs out of it. Like I said, with the Uncle Iroh and the funeral with Luten and that freaking song. I was like, please don't sing. Please don't sing. I cannot emotionally handle that right now. Just please don't. So you'll have a lot of moments of laughter, laughing. You'll get teary eyed with some of them, and so it does its job, you know. So good job, Netflix. Good job. Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.